Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and the honorable adjudicators. Now, for me, as the closing government, now let's take a look at what LO and DPO has said. LO said that if we choose to impoverish corruptors, we would make their economic level so low that their family and children would suffer so much for it. And it's not really true. Why? Because as what the PM has said, we're going to take what they have taken from the state, nation, and our people. We only want reparation. We want them to face consequences for what they have done to us ordinary people. I think that it is too much if LO said that it's going to ruin the education of the children of the corruptors. No, it is not true. We want them to really experience what it is to become an ordinary citizen with little to no money, without the right to use the nation and the state money, because that's what every good citizen must do. So let me ask you a question. Do they even think when they do the corruption? No, they do not think about that. They do not think about us. And that's what we're going to do with them. We're going to take what they have taken from us and make it as a reparation for the people that have suffered because of their action. Now let's move on to what the DLO has said. DLO said that there's probably human and technical error in the way that we calculate how much this corruption, these corruptors have taken from us. Then we cannot really make sure the exact amount of money they have corrupted. This is really not the best way to analyze the situation, because taking what they have accordingly to what they have taken from the nation is a way for us to do reparation and punishment for them, even though it is not the exact amount of money that they have corrupted. But come on, are we really that innocent that we would not even realize? We would be so blind that it's unusual for some people to have such a big amount of money in a such a short amount of time. This is our way of taking their money, even though it's not the exact amount of money they have corrupted. It's our effort to give back to what the nation has lost, the people of our nation has lost, the hope of the people that have lost. These money are the ones that were supposed to be in ordinary, that are going to help these ordinary people to improve their lives, not these corruptors. And the DPO also said that if we do impoverishment, it means that we will not punish those corruptors that only corrupts a small amount of money. No, it is not true at all. It's definitely untrue, because as the PM said, we're going to take what they have taken from the nation, state, and people. How big or small the amount is, we're going to make it as a reparation from what they have done to our country, make it as a reparation so that these people, these ordinary people, also have the right where the money should go. Now, ladies and gentlemen, what have I told you today? Impoverishing corruptors is an effective way to stop them from corrupting, because it is a concrete action, and there is also a concrete reparation for what they have done. Unlike, let's say, what do they call it again? They call it like rehabilitation, would help us know why they do this, why they do that. No, the thing about corruptors is they do not care. They only want to take what they want to take. It's not about we have to analyze them and we need to find reason of why they do it. We don't need to do that. We don't need to do that. The corruption are happening a lot in these countries, and we need concrete action and concrete consequences so that these people would see that they will face something if they do a certain thing. In this case is the corruption. So yeah, and because they face consequences from what they have done, this can also become a thing. This can become a thing that future corruptors will see and witness. Thus, they would not choose to do it. If they choose to do it, they also will see that it will become their consequences as well. It will become a moral message. This is not only for us, this is not only for the corruptors, this is also for the future, for what's happening in our country. This is something that needs to be done, something that is clear, something that is concrete. People say that this is way too theoretical. No, it's not, because we're trying to make change. We're trying to make something, an effort, just a little bit, to actually change something from this big issue, such as corruption. So to conclude, I would say that we need concrete action and consequences for these corruptions. Thus, impoverishment for corruptors are necessary, not for us in this current moment, but also for the future, for our next generation, because the money that we get as a reparation, the money that we get as a consequence for what their action will be given to the people that need it. And those are the things that we need: concrete and real action from the government. And one of it is making them sure that we are going to take all the money that we can get. It's not always have to be the same exact amount, but we're going to take what they have taken from us. And they're going to face consequences more than jail time, more than rehabilitation. No, we need more than that. Thus, the motion of this House would impoverish corruptors must stand. Thank you.
Greetings, Honorable Judge and adjudicators, ladies and gentlemen. Standing here as a government whip, this House should definitely impoverishing corruptors. Why? Let me sum up the thing. Prime Minister say impoverish, reparation. We make them pay what they took from us, and the fine of 100% more of they took from us. Well, the opposing say it's unjust. Well, first of all, how many hundred people's families that suffer from the corruption when they don't know? They don't know about the corruption. They only know that they are suffer and struggling because of the corruptors. So impoverizing, asking for more than what they took from us is our main point. And the second, that let's not forget to mention that we need to send message. We need to make the future, the potential corruptors out there scared. Make them feels like it's the wrong thing to do because they scared of what come if they got caught. Well, eventually they will get caught. That is our mechanism, which is impoverishing corruptor, make them scared, make the future potential corruptors scared. And what the opposing say, they say it's unjust. They say it's a silly thing. And what they propose a rehabilitation of our current law, which is, it won't do anything. People that corrupt, which stated by the deputy minister, it's driven by money and power. And we took it from them, then what they do about it? Jail time, rehabilitation won't do things. Corruptors are smart, ladies and gentlemen. They are smart. They plan everything precisely. Even the time when they sit down in jail and when they spend time in rehabilitation, they time it, they plan for it. And what we do to smart people, we outsmart them. And how do we outsmart them? Government idea, our idea that this House should impoverizing, should improvise the corruptors. Because when we caught them, we ask them to pay back. We take what they have took from us and even 100% more as a fine. And then what they do then? Their plan will be irrelevant because they lost the power, they become ordinary people. As the member of governor mentioned, they become ordinary people. They are nobody, so that they can see themselves, they can see the casualties, they can see the victims of what they've done, because they're becoming one of them. And if the opposing say that it unjust because there will be struggle to find foods, no, they don't. We have regulation. We will have a regulation that they will be in the equal position with their victims, so they know what have they done to them. And then the other is, as the Prime Minister kept repeating, that more than a slap in the wrist, we take action. We took what they took from us. We took what the hundreds family have lost, their future, their education, their hope. They lost all of it. We need to slap. We need more than a slap. We need to do something. While the opposing didn't do anything, they're only proposing rehab. Well, rehab don't do things. We need to give them, we need to give people back. We need to give their hope back. When they caught the corruption, they paid for the reparation. And then we use the money to the state, and the state will give it to the people that hurt and struggle because of that corruptor. We need more than a slap in the ass. How many families, how many innocent people need to suffer because of a corruptor, when they're smiling on the jail, when they're smiling on their rehabilitation place? They're smiling because their plan goes well. When they get out, well, they're still wealthy, and other people still a victim without help because the state don't have the money. And where do we get the money to help the victim? We get it from the fine, reparation. And then after that, human error, the opposing focus on the human error. When we say, as the member of government say, the focus is not to repay how many. It's no matter how big or how small they need to pay, they have to pay. No matter how big, how small, crime is a crime. And we need to take it from them. We need them to pay what have lost. And we need to punish small corruptor, because as I stated, no matter how big or small, corruptor is a corruptor. A crime is a crime. And when the opposing say the family have nothing to do about it, well, the family is wealthy. When the victim is not, they're still poor, they struggle, they are hungry every day because something they don't know. They thought that they have help. They thought that the government help, but they don't, because the corruptor took all of the money, ladies and gentlemen. And we need an action. Instead of just a rehabilitation, instead of just a classic law that every corruptor know, they smart, as I stated, they all smart. Rehabilitation won't cut it. Corruptors indeed won't stop. There will always be crime everywhere. There will always be corruptor anywhere. And that's why the government way is the most effective way. And that's why our arguments are better than the opposing. Why? Because we try to send message to the future corruptors, so that we avoid them. What are we trying to do here? We're trying to see a bigger picture, ladies and gentlemen. We're just trying to serve justice. We're trying to see a bigger picture. We try to save 100 family that cannot reach their dreams because of the corruptors. We're trying to help casualties. We try to reduce casualties. We try to avoid future corruptors. And if the opposing say that it's unjust, I don't know what's wrong with their mind, because we just try to serve the country. We're just trying to save many families that struggle from financial. And that's why we should impoverish the corruptor. And that's why justice will be served. If our intention to help 100 people from suffering for something they don't know is not a justice, then I don't know what is, gentlemen. And that's why this house must impoverish corruptors. And that's why I'm very proud to state all of this, and I'm very proud that government is right. Thank you.